Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Kataksha Kirana Chantaha Naman Mohabdaye Namaha Anantananda Krishnaya Jagan Mangala Murtaye Ahamasmi Sada Bhami Kada Chennaham Apriyaha Brahmaivahamata Siddham Sachidanand Lakshanam. Any questions, clarifications? We had done up to the 9th verse last time. Okay. Basically looking at the fact that Brahmaivaham. Okay. So he talked from the standpoint of the reality Brahman, from the standpoint of the manifestation Ishvara in the 3rd verse, because Sarva Vyapi etc. is said Sarvajnam Sarva Karanam. Then he talked about how any form of destruction is not possible. Okay, and you can't negate yourself, nor can you destroy yourself by natural forces or man-made implements of weapons of destruction. Okay. Yeah. Then the process of negation, to be clear about the truth, all that we saw. Yeah. Suptaha supte ahamina drishyante dukkha dosha pravartayaha atastasyeva samsaraha enname samsrita sakshini. Supte, when you are asleep, ahami nadrishyante. Ahami, the word ahami he uses for ahankara. Ahankara nadrishyate. Your conceptual self, what you take yourself to be. I am this much only. I am like this only. Nadrishyate is not seen. He may be a great musician, but in sleep, he will be snoring away. No swara maintained. No swara, no tala, nothing. You record and tell, show it to him. Not me, not possible. Why? Your conceptual self is gone. All your identification gone. All your role playing gone. All your self-judgments gone. Okay? Ahamina drishyante. Along with that, dukkha dosha pravartayaha. All your limitations, your dukkha, any other faults that you have, kidhar hai? Where is dukkha in sleep? If you don't get sleep, there is dukkha. But if you get sleep, perfect. Some people like it so much they sleep in the class also. See, you have to recognize that sleep is the experience of Ananda. There is an anticipation of going into it. We'll keep the temperature right, the light. Some people will prefer pitch darkness. Some people say, some small little light. Whatever. Your mosquito curtain or your anti-mosquito stuff. All that you do. Height of the pillow. Everything you're particular about. Why? I don't want anything to disturb my sleep. Once I sleep, you're not bothered. You may have pushed your pillow away. Mosquitoes are feasting on you. You get up and realize it was cold and it was breezy and now you have fever after getting up. That means what? And there is always a reluctance to come out of it. There is always a gap between waking up and getting up. People recognize it and provide you with a snooze button. That's the worst thing possible to sleep, okay? 1 10-minute snooze I can understand. I can give in to the humanness. But repeated snoozing, your sleep is disturbed. That half an hour that you got is very disturbed, not healthy. One snooze because 10 minutes. You are enjoying the fact that you are relaxed. But this reluctance to get out and that anticipation of going in to sleep shows it is a happy event. And where is your dukkha dosha samsara? In deep sleep there is nothing. The beggar is no more aware of his beggarliness. He has dropped it. The king has dropped his kingliness. The fool has dropped his foolishness. The wise his wisdom. There's a great equality there. Whatever you're unhappy about. In fact, when people are very depressed, is that a tragedy has happened. What do you do? What does the doctor come and do? Gives you a sedative. Let the person sleep a bit. Recover. Because he or she doesn't know how to handle that situation. Yeah. Now look at the thing. Atas tasyeva samsaraha. Therefore the samsara belongs to the ahankara. Waking, the ahankara is there, samsara is there. Deep sleep, ahankara is not there, samsara is also not there. This is called anvaya vyatireka. One is, the other is. One is not, the other is not. Ahankara is, samsara is. Ahankara is not there, samsara is not there. Therefore, anvaya vyatireka abhyam, we come to the understanding that samsara belongs to the ahankara. All your problems belong to the conceptual self, to your ahankara. As a mother or a father, of course you have problems with children like this. As a child, of course you have problems with parents like this. As a student, oh my God, my teacher. As a teacher, Narayana, Narayana. Not Vedanta teachers, okay? As a husband, what problem? I have all the stress. The wife saying. Ask the husband. He has given up his decision making long back. As a wife, of course, with a slob like this, of course there is a problem. As an employer, oh my God, where do you get proper staff nowadays? As an employee, where do you get a good boss nowadays? This is world. This is samsara. All belonging to your roles. Doesn't belong to you. Ahankara is, samsara is. Ahankara is not there, samsara is not there. Therefore, we get all the wrong logic. Therefore, negate the ahankara. Destroy the ahankara. That's idiotic. If you destroy the ahankara, there is no functioning for you. You have to understand what is the truth of the ahankara. A concept is based on a fact. Without a reality, there is no concept. This kurta is conceptual. If it is a little short, it is called kurti. What is the difference? The tailor didn't have enough material. Okay. He tried to save some costs and called it kurti. Kurti is a shorter version of a kurta, Both are concepts on cloth. You conceptualize the cloth like that. There is no concept without a reality. There is no ahankara, your conceptual self, without the reality. The non-conceptual, nirgunam, Brahman. Brahman is not a concept. Brahman is a reality you have to recognize. Okay, so this is it. Therefore, tasyev samsara nahi name samtirta sakshini. Not in me, because I am the witness of it. When the ahankara is not there in deep sleep, I am witnessing the absence of ahankara. I slept well. I was awake like an owl, seeing the sleeping mind. Waking ahankara is there. Of course you are aware of it. I want this, I want that, I have this problem, I have that problem. You are the Sakshi. Swamiji, what is the difference between Atma and Sakshi? Common question. Okay. No difference. Sakshi is a name given to the Atma with respect to the fact that I am aware of everything. Different words does not mean different entities. It only means different standpoints. Otherwise you will say, first there is Nirgunam Brahman, then there is Sagunam Brahman, then there is Atma, then there is Jivatma, there is Ahankara. I am talking about Advaita. Ye kitna? Not even Dvaita, this is Panchama. Yeah. One Brahman, the reality. Total standpoint will say Brahman. Individual standpoint will say Atma. It's only standpoint, one reality alone. One consciousness. From this apparent fact of you being born, etc., we'll say Jivatma. With respect to your false identities, we will say Ahankara. All standpoints. What is there? One reality. मैं हूँ, बस और कुछ नहीं. I am. Ahankara se sakshi. If you are clear about that, what is the problem of Ahankara? You know, many of you are dressed nicely now. When you go to work, how do you dress? Like this? You wear your work dress, right? Your work clothes. Means what? New role, new dress. What am I? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. Sachidananda Lakshana. Abhi kya role कर रहा है? Now what is the role? Teacher. Now what is the role? Mother. So, dress. Ahankara is only your dress that you wear for each. Where is the problem then? You don't have to remove the ahankara, destroy it. And there are some teachers who do that. Deliberately insult and hurt the person. Why? Ahankara should be bashed down. That character has got a control freak. He has got control issues. He's a sadist. Yeah, sometimes teachers have to confront a student over something. That's a different thing. But that's not to negate the ahankara. Yeah, that is not to negate the ahankara or anything. That's just confronting. There's an issue you're not seeing yourself. You're not taking care of it. Therefore, you come down a bit tough on it. Yeah. That is all. Nothing more than that. Functioning. Yeah. But if he says ahankara has to be destroyed, this, that, keep far away from those people, okay? You're not going to discover I am Ananda. You're only going to discover your hurt self all the time. Yeah. And you can make out these people by just a gesture. Someone is talking, you can just raise a hand and say, so because you have to say something. Or you can say, that body language itself will reveal what is inside, isn't it? Correct or not? Someone is talking, hey, just a minute. Or, yeah. So, this ahankara, you have to call the bluff of the ahankara. That's all. Ahankara masquerades as the Atma. Atma meaning what? I. If someone asks you, who are you? You will say, your most important role that you play or the most important role in that context. Working context, you will say, I'm CFO, I'm Vice President, I'm GM, whatever. I'm a lawyer, doctor, this, that. Work context. Or that is what you consider your most important role. You will say that. It's only a role. How do you know it's a role? In sleep, are you a doctor? In sleep, are you a CFO? In sleep, are you a Vedantin? I'm Vedanta Acharya. Okay? Sampradaya with Shaddarshana Vedanta Acharya. नींद में क्या है? It's a role. You see, when some of these Mandaleshwas, Mahamandaleshwas, or the Shankaracharyas come, there will be somebody coming in front with a mace. Raja, Adiraja, there's a big list. Shankara Bhashya Pravatta, Shaddarshana Acharya, Sampradaya Punaruddhartaha. All this will be a long list. And then the guy will come and sit down. Achha, we treat you with respect. You're a great man. Role hai. It's a role. It's a role. What else is it? Sannyasa. Sannyasi you. This sannyasi came down. Om Namo Narayana Swamiji. Swamiji, महाराज क्यों नहीं बुलाया? When you call me Maharaj, Maharaj means king. In fact, I encountered a guy like that. I told him, Swamiji, मेरा पूर्वाश्रम में गुजरात में the cook is called Maharaj. Because Gujaratis value food a lot, और उसका पहला पूर्वाश्रम में, when I am on the ship, Maharaj is the person who cleans the toilets. इसके लिए महाराज नहीं बोला. Poor guy didn't know what to say. Sometimes you have to do that, Play the role of a teacher a little differently. Because he's senior after all. So you have to drive home a point a bit differently. The idea, all this is roles. You have taken the role too seriously. Yeah, you are all that correct. To learn this, those of us who have been blessed to see Swami Taranandagiri, one of the greatest scholars in this whole area of his generation, and his greatness lay so lightly on his shoulders. He'd go for a walk in the evening, and Maharaj here will not go out and eat or something like that. Public, I don't know. He will eat moongfali, peanuts, and walk. As simple and normal as anybody else. Like once we are cooking. So, all the vegetables is cooked in water. So, the watery vegetables. So, you got some besan powder. What is besan? Gram flour, yeah. To thicken the vessel. So he came and gave it. I said, yes, Swamiji. Kept it aside. Then 2 minutes he came back to see whether we are using it. So there was another student there called Ram Chaitanya. He said, Swamiji, इससे पेट खराब होता है? हाँ? बेसन से पेट खराब होता है? पेट है कि क्या है? You have a stomach or what? If you make a mistake reading, आंख है क्या बोपला है? He was not very self-conscious of the fact he's a great scholar and things like that. Sometime explaining something, say, इधर एक शंख आ रहा है. टिप्पणी में देखेंगे क्या? In the commentary on the commentary, we'll see what it is. It is not referred to. अच्छा, उनको भी वही शंख आया रहेगा. You would have got the same doubt. I'm talking about my guru's guru, okay? His photograph is there inside. Swamiji doing Pada Puja to him. Very rare photograph, that one is okay. Yeah. So, Ahankara is a conceptual self. It's a false entity, a notional entity. That's why I like to use the word conceptual self. Notional, no? Concept is notional. It's only a notion. And you hold on to the notion long after the role is given up. Yeah, long after the role is given up. Yeah, long after the role is given up, you're still holding on to it. Lieutenant General Suri, in brackets, retired. And the army issued a statement. The role is never retired, therefore you have the right to use the role, use the title. Why? That's a strong notion, strong ahankara. Why? You're willing to die in that role. You're willing to kill and be killed, therefore strong. Doctor role, strong, because people don't allow you to forget it. I'm sure half a dozen people have consulted you. Not yet. Okay. 2-3 to ho gaya रहेगा. It's a strong role. Another big role, difficult to give up. Mama. Mama's role very difficult to give up. So sometimes the kids in my youth group will complain. Samji, my mother, she smothers me. I'm 18. And my mama smothers me. This happened years ago. I said, champ, I'm 65 and my mother smothers me. Oh, not possible. You're so competent. I say, yeah. When I go out, in the evening for a class, I come back by 9:30. 9:30 in Bombay is nothing. It is not late. Night has just begun. It's only 9:30. And my mother will say, be careful. I say, okay, mom. प्यार से बोल रहा है. Okay. No, I'm really saying, be careful. I sail around the world. I fought battles. I have been in seek and destroy missions, search and rescue missions. I have been a martial artist for so long. The cops and the gundas both know me. If I am not safe, who is going to be safe? The cops and the dacoits, both of them know me. So a young man, accept the fact your mama is going to smother you. That's not your problem, it's her problem. Don't make it yours. That's not an excuse for all the mothers here to smother their kids, okay? Role, self-judgment, difficult to drop or see the mithyatvam of it. You don't always have to drop. How do you drop mama? Your mama, na? You know the guy is 50, your mama. But that self-judgment, I am mama, therefore I have to be like this. Forget it. See the apparent nature of that role. You are the real filling up a role. The role is dependent on you. You are independent of the role. Once you see that, you'll be fine. And function in that knowledge. Yeah, function in that knowledge. That's important. And mamas come and complain to me. My child is such a rebel. How old is he? 15. I said, very good. He's a rebel. I said, very good. He's rebelling at 15. Why? If he doesn't rebel at 15, he'll rebel at 25. He'll mess up his careers, his work, his relationships. If he doesn't rebel at 25, 15 he did, 25 he did, then 40. Which is worse, families are destroyed. And if not at 50, probably never. His life is destroyed. Why? No independence of thinking. Rebellion is to establish independence. It's a healthy thing. But all this, what are we dealing with? Roles. Not real. Once you know the role, a real, you can play any role happily. Not a problem. But if you don't know the real, the problems of the role becomes my problems. Samsara. That's why he's saying here. So, ahankara is problems here are. In deep sleep, ahankara is not there, samsara is not there. That shows samsara and ahankara go together. In fact, as I always said, there is no samsara. There is only a samsari. What is samsara world? World is world. Oh, it is so breezy today. Yeah, breezy. Yesterday we invoked Hanuman with a vadamala. And you all enjoyed the vadas also after that. So today his father is very happy. He's come to bless us all. You worship my son. Achha. Vayu is his father, no? So nice breeze. Yeah. The northeastern breeze. Great. Blessings. Oh. All roles. Yeah. Okay. Then he brings a very important point in terms of this ahankara, etc. Can the ahankara not witness its own sleep? Why do you have to bring in the Atma there and say, I, the Atma, the Sakshi, is witnessing? Why cannot the ahankara itself knows I slept? Because waking, I say I slept. No? I don't say my ahankara slept, Atma was awake. Please don't say that. That is spiritual snobbery. Yeah, here. Suptaha suptim na janati na suptehe swapna jagarau jagrat swapna sushuptinam sakshato ahamat tadrishaha suptaha suptim na janati. The deep sleeper doesn't know he is deep sleep. Now you are the sleeper. You don't know you are asleep. The sleeper does not know waking and dream. The dreamer does not know waking and deep sleep. The three states are mutually exclusive. Sometimes there is an overlap. Like you're dreaming and you're half awake. And you don't want the dream to end. Acha dream, but it ends. So, the three states are mutually exclusive. Waking, dream, deep sleep. They're all mutually exclusive. Waking is, dream and deep sleep is not there. Sleep is, dream and waking is not there. Dream is, sleeping and waking is not there. Now in the waking, there is a role called the waker. All of us, hopefully. If anybody misses my statement, he is asleep. So waker. Similarly, in the dream, there is a dreamer. Deep sleep, there is a sleeper. States are mutually exclusive. These three are also mutually exclusive. Then how do you remember the deep sleep and the dream? Obviously something has to connect. Correct? You have memory of your sleep. Be very clear. Sleep is memory, not inference. As I said before, you don't get up in the morning and make an inference. Oh my God, from this time to this time I did not know anything, therefore I must have been asleep. Yeah. That data, that this time to this time I did not know anything, that data you're giving for the inference itself is sleep. So the data cannot be an inferential conclusion. Data, there is smoke, cannot be the inferential conclusion. Inferential conclusion is there is smoke, therefore there must be fire. There is smoke, I'm inferring there is smoke. Oh, you're seeing there is smoke. Similarly, you saw you were asleep, you remember it now. You saw your dream, some of it you remember. You are awake, some of it you remember for the next day. What is the guy that connects All the three. You, the Atma, gaining the name of Sakshi. Waking is right now. All of you are awake. Are you aware of the fact you are awake? Are you aware of the waking world? The waker is aware of the waking world. You are aware of the waker, that I am awake. The dreamer is aware of the dream world. You are aware of the dream and the dreamer. Samji, I'm not sure I'm aware of the dreamer. Did you feel scared in the dream? Oh yeah. Did you feel happy in the dream? Oh yes, it was such a blissful dream. Sleeper, were you aware of? Ananda, it was joyful. Along with the blanket that covered me, a blanket of ignorance covered me. How do you know? Because I slept, I know. You are aware of it. So the linking factor of the three states of experience. The three states of experience are linked together by you, the Atma. Excuse me. The I, you, linked together, waking, dream and deep sleep. Little digression here. Little digression important. This I is in some texts called, excuse me, as Turiya, the fourth. Which is very often misunderstood to be a fourth state of experience. That is not the correct one. Turiya is something to be recognized. Remember my old story? I was here for a number of years. Studying here. So after 6-7 years, in the early 80s, went down to Bombay. No flights, nothing. We had Dehradun Express, super slow express. Really, it's super slow express. 42 hours from Haridwar to Bombay. Good train. Why good train? My life was very hectic here. Samji, Rishikesh, hectic. Yeah. 5 o'clock meditation onwards. Until you sleep at 10 o'clock, you're busy. Tapobhumi. Tapas. And when I go to Bombay, life is busy there. In between, where do you get your rest? Train. 42 hours. So what were you doing? Sleeping, eating, reading. That's it. Great. So I reached. Got down at Dadar railway station. I'd got some Guru Dakshina here and there. Take a cab home. So, remember, I'm reaching Bombay after 7 years. I saw a poster there. Inspector Vijay. Who's that? I didn't think cops could advertise themselves. So I was a taxi driver. Oh, कौन है? अरे महाराज जी, वो तो अमिताभ बच्चन है. अच्छा. I thought Inspector Vijay may be some code name or something. Went further. Dawn. It looks familiar. अरे ड्राइवर साहब, वो कौन है? Amitabh Bachchan hai. I'm scratching my head. Remember, out of touch in Rishikesh with all this. Yeah. Dawn and Inspector, the same person. He's an undercover operative or something. I mean, my mind from my Purva Ashrama is thinking like that. Then another role of a minister. ये कौन है? अरे महाराज जी वो भी अमिताभ बच्चन ही है. अरे ड्राइवर साहब, हाउ कैन वन ब्लाइंड पर्सन प्ले 3 roles? ये कैसा हो सकता है? महाराज जी आप कहाँ से आए? सर ऋषिकेश से. अच्छा आप ऋषिकेश के हैं, इसके लिए पूछता है. ये 3 तो नकली है. These are 3 are false. Huh? The Don, the inspector and the minister is false. फिर असली कौन है? Who's the real? He takes out a 4th photograph. He's an Amitabh Bachchan fan. ये असली है. 4th photograph. Is it the 4th? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a number. But it's not the 4th. This is the one. The other 3 are false. This is the one. This is the reality. Turiya is a reality. Waking dream and deep sleep are apparent. They come and go. अवस्था तो आनी जानी है, आत्मा तो दिल की रानी है. ऐसा कोई गाना था ना? अरे आपके लगान कहाँ है? लगान मूवी में था ऐसा गाना? सबके लिख दे. अरे था उसमें. गोपिया तो आने जाने हैं, राधा तो दिल के था. What is happening to this crowd? A sadhu knows all this. Yeah. So waking dream and deep sleep come and go. Atma is constant. Called as the 4th photograph. Called. Not really the 4th. Sa ekaha, sa advitiyaha, sa shivaha. Mandukya. Chaturtam manyante. Talked about as the 4th. Sa ekaha. That is the one. Savigneya, that is to be known. That's to be recognized as I. I am that entity. 3 are roles. Fundamental roles. Waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. In that you can have more roles. That's it. A matter for recognition. Some of you, can you experience that? If I present it as an experience, you will have another problem. What is that? You will reduce the Atma to a 4th state of experience. Then I'll have to say, Atma is Panchamaha. Like if I had seen a 4th poster, Amitabh Bachchan, Coolie number 1. Then the taxi driver will have to show the 5th photograph. If you reduce it, waking, dream and deep sleep are experiences. If you reduce Turiya to another state of experience, you have the same problem. It has a beginning, it has an end. It is finite, it is time and space bound. So are we not experiencing the limitlessness? In deep sleep also you are experiencing the limitlessness. What is your limit in deep sleep? Tell me that. But Swamiji, it's only 6 hours. And how long did you stay in Samadhi? Half an hour. 3 days. If you stay in Samadhi 3 days, we'll break a coconut on your head and build a nice tomb over you. That coconut on your head is to ensure you don't get up. They're very pragmatic people, okay? Here Rishikesh. That's it. Therefore, don't take it as an experience, please. You know, many teachers of yoga has a habit of presenting it as an experience. It's not an experience. It's a fact of yourself. With respect to the 3, the real is presented as a 4th. Just for your understanding. Fourth photograph. Yes, I love that example. After all, it's come from Mayapuri. Bombay is called Mayapuri here, you know. Yeah. The city of Maya. So, that I, okay, Sakshata, I am the one who's witnessing the waking dream and deep sleep. They don't belong to me. I am the one who's independent of the three. The three is dependent on me. I am independent of the three. Therefore, I suffer from no limitation, no spatial limitation, no time-wise limitation. Space and time belongs to waking and dream. I am that limitless entity. Yeah. Free from everything. So you are having problems? What problems are you talking about? Problem is when you say, it is my problem. Otherwise, the situation to be handled. Voice is gone. Situation handled. Kantel Zindabad. Situation to be handled. Why are you making a self-judgment? Yeah. Where is the problem? Problem belongs to Ahankara, not me. When you look at it like that, there's no problems, only situations. Some happy, some challenging, good, bad, ugly, whatever. Those are all evaluations, judgments, situation. This is the freedom. Your existential issue. Swamiji, I am emotionally vulnerable, I am lonely. Existential issue. You go to a therapist, he or she will tell you how to manage it. There is no solution. In psychology, there is no solution. In Vedanta, there is no problem. Where is the problem? Your limitlessness. How can you be lonely? If you recognize that, you are never lonely. You are in harmony with the whole universe. If you recognize, you are in harmony. If you don't recognize, then all the existential issues come up. Yeah. So, pending discovery, you have to psychologically manage your issues. With the vision of Vedanta, manage psychologically your mind, etc., emotions, etc., with the world, etc. That's fine. Because you are in an in-between state. So, suna hai na, the statement in Hindi? Dhobi ka kutta na ghar ka na ghat ka. The Dhobi's dog doesn't belong in the home. Doesn't belong in the ghat out there. It's not a street dog. It doesn't. At the same time, it doesn't allow him inside the house. So where is he? In between. In Sanskrit, there is a better thing. Trishanku Surgam. There is this guy who wanted to go to heaven with the physical body. People get funny desires, you know. Really? I mean, this body with all its limitation, you want to go to a divine area where you can get a divine body which does not have hunger, thirst, limitation, pain, etc. It doesn't have. But you want to go with this painful body there. I mean, with all the wisdom that our ancestors had, some of them had this idiocy also. Because there's a law of balance, you know. When the wisdom is high, sometimes the foolishness can also be high. So he went to all the rishis. Let me go up in this body. Foolish discipline. Finally came to Vishwamitra. Then all the rishis said, I can't go. I come to you as my last resort. Vishwamitra said, you should have come to me first. So he announced a huge yaga. Well, Trishanku will rise to heaven in this body. Yaga is over, he is invoking the devatas. Trishanku is remaining here only. But Vishwamitra was no ordinary guy, okay? So he took the pot of ghee in his hand, poured it onto the fire, says, rise Trishanku. And Trishanku rose heavenwards. But there Indra is ruling, he doesn't want this character coming in. In that body, you are supposed to leave that on earth, come without baggage. You don't bring your baggage of earth here, leave the body behind. So he pushed him out. And now Trishanku is falling down. So Vishwamitra said, halt. And he'll make a huge, another heaven there, another dimension. He did that. As he started doing it, all the devatas came to him, please stop. This will upset the balance of nature. Okay. Stopped. But where is Trishanku now? Neither on earth nor on heaven, hanging in between. The Christian concept of purgatory, etc., has come from here, okay? These are the ideas behind that. Yeah. So we are in that state. The knowledge is not yet a fact of life. The other issues we are left behind. But some of it is there. Some little emotional thing here and there. So we have to handle that. In between, you have to handle that. So that this will become clear. And then you laugh at your own problems. So this is serious. Heartbreak. Yeah. You mean to say, after knowing the truth, I will not be able to love somebody? Why somebody will be able to love everyone? But no, someone special, of course you can. But what if there's someone special is with someone else? You look at your mind and laugh. Why? You are Ananda. You don't require a person to make it Ananda. You don't require an object to make it Ananda. You don't require a place to make it Ananda. You don't need a situation to make yourself Ananda. You are Ananda. Then, wonderful person. Let her be happy there. Yeah. But there's an attraction between you. Yeah, there must have been some connection. Some karmic connection, some psychic connection, whatever you want to call it. All your New Age theories you can bring in. Okay. Fact is, you are Ananda. Therefore, you don't need anything. You can be with everything. You don't need anything. You can be with everything. Now, don't make a rule. Because I'm Ananda, I should not be with everything. We have a habit of transforming everything to rules and regulations. You are Ananda, you're free. You can be with everything, you need not be with anything. Oh, this I should not be with. How can you see the world is mithya and have 365 rules for it? That's like saying, hey, that snake is mithya. You mean the rope? Yes, but be careful. Huh? Why do you have to be careful of a mithya rope? If it is a real snake, then also no problem. I'm from Kerala. So, in my own village home, I'm at a seat, family seat, there are 2 temples to snakes. Sarpakava, there are 2 of them. Big deal. See snakes all the time. Huge king cobras, they come around. Fine. Here also, before all this thing came up, you're going for a walk, the snake is also going for a walk. So you go your way, let the snake go his way. Sometimes they'll come inside. where the kitchen was and all. Because warm, no? So we'll catch it by the tail, take it out and put it on. But you don't want to kill a snake. That's sarpadosha will come. No problem. What is the problem? Something to be dealt with. Oh, I can't do that. Don't do it. It's not that because you're a wise man, you should be able to pick up snakes. Swamiji used to do it. Puja Swamiji used to do it. I have done it. Don't worry. That won't be a qualification for all of you, okay? Everyone. Parampara. If that parampara is kept as parampara, half the characters won't qualify. About half, 80% won't qualify. So those are not the criteria. What I'm trying to say is, no issues, no problems, you're free. That is the whole idea. When are you free? When there are problems, when there is joyful situation, every time you're free. Yeah. If you can keep your head when everybody else is losing theirs and blaming it on you, then you don't know what the hell is going on, okay? No, that's a joke. That's when you're free. Two extremes can look similar.
But that is true though. The more you study,
Beg your pardon?
that is true that the more you study,
Yeah.
you start kind of looking at things from a different angle.
Yeah.
And the rest of the people start looking at
Yeah,
you like
true.
you're heartless or stupid or you don't understand
Yeah.
what's happening.
So sometimes when that happens, you have to keep your wisdom to yourself. That's why the advice is given to all wise people. How do you live in the world? Murkhavat, acharya. Live like the other fools. Idea is take it time. When you see somebody in grief, somebody has died. 2 of my students lost people, 3 of them lost people on Shivratri day. One lost his wife, one lost his mother, one lost on the day of Shivratri. They are all supposed to be here. So they message me. What will I say? Where is birth? Where is death? There is neither birth nor death. Should I say that to them? They are students of Vedanta, my students. Inappropriate. That's not the time for it. Sorry for your loss. I'll pray for a Sadgati. Those are appropriate. Those are appropriate. Why? Because that empathy you will naturally have. If you don't have empathy, your knowledge is still shaky. Because if you are Ananda, Ananda in any relationship will be what? Love. Unconditional. Non-demanding. If I love you and don't expect anything from you, can you say don't love me? It's not your choice. You can be what you want. I love you. So what do you want me to do? Nothing. Live your life. You don't really love me. Because in our idea of love, there are expectations. A wise person's love is different, unconditional. So naturally, you'll be empathetic. Yeah. You're sitting and reading something, and a kid comes and disturbs you. You will look at it as a disturbance? Will you look at it as a disturbance? Nah. The child wants some attention, give it that attention. Play with it for a couple of minutes, give it that. And then say, here, this is a book for you. You read your book, I will read my book. Very happy. That's all it requires. Empathy. Understand what the child wants. I brought up 2 pairs of nephews and nieces. So I know exactly what it is to be a parent. Empathy that takes care of it. You have love in your heart, empathy. And if the object of love requires a little bit confrontation, fine. If it requires help, fine. that emotion will transform itself to what is necessary in the relationship. Once you know the truth, don't try to give unconditional love when you don't know the truth. You will end up being a doormat. Everyone will trample over you, I'm telling you. Be careful. Yeah. Because if you know the truth, you know when to withdraw also. You will be naturally assertive in a very nice manner. Yeah. And if you allow somebody to trample, you won't feel trampled. Because you are allowing it. Have you allowed anyone to kick you in your life? No. Never played with a baby? All babies are kicked you. I can ask more complex questions, but I'm not. Okay. So, tadrishaha. I'm the one who witnesses everything, therefore free from everything. That's how he concludes that. Then he says, little bit about sleep and dream and waking. He combines things together. Vijnana vritti suptihi tajjanma sapna jagrato tat sakshinaha katam me syuhu nitya jnanasya te trayaha. Vijnana vritihi. Vijnana here is a cognition. A cognition. This is a phone. The cognition is called Vijnanam. This cognition is called Jnanam. Vijnanam. Here, Vijnanam. You cognize things. That is Viratihi, free from that, is called deep sleep. What are you seeing in deep sleep? If you're seeing something, you're dreaming, not sleeping. Vijnana Viratihi Suptihi. And Tajjanma, the birth of cognition is Swapna Jagaro. In dream cognitions. In waking cognition. You can also replace it with simple thought. Okay. This is dream and waking come together, thoughtful state, thoughtless state. So in meditation you want to be thoughtless? You're thoughtless every night. No, I want to be consciously thoughtless. You are consciously thoughtless in deep sleep. Why? You are aware you are deep sleep. No? Where does all this philosophies come up? Lack of viveka, lack of thinking. Swamiji, but that is all true. I have been through all of that. I told you all the stories, no? During my working days, I was interested in all this. Early morning, get up at 4:30. 4:30, I am in my seat of meditation. Sometimes samadhi will happen, sometimes it won't happen. If it happens, at 6:30 my mother will come out because that's her waking up time. What are you doing sitting down there and shake me awake? Awake from samadhi, okay? Bad way to get up. Then say, oh my God, 6:40, I missed my train. I can't go to work today because you can't go in late. You lost the day. He said, oh, this is a problem. So I started keeping an alarm clock. But in samadhi, you won't hear the alarm. May hear, may not hear. Though Shabda has a way of penetrating, samadhi also can. But sometimes I wouldn't hear. But the alarm works. Why? My mother hears it in her room. Why? It is those big old grandfather clocks, not like the phone. All those big things. And she'll come and wake me up from my samadhi. 1 year I sat like that, off and on samadhi. I said, my Atma cannot be dumb. I don't feel anything different. Am I being dumb? Then I attended a series of talks by my teacher on Dakshinamurti Sutra. And I had a great realization of what an idiot I had been. 1 year sitting in Samadhi. But it gave me great mastery over the mind. It will give you Yogaha Chitta Vritti Nirodha. For the Samadhi is meant for mastery. I could think when I want, I can stop thinking when I want. That's a great mastery. That much it helped. That much it helped. But absence of thought is deep sleep. So in Vedanta we will call it Andha Samadhi. The Samadhi of the blind. They don't know the truth, but they are experientially going into Samadhi. You know the story of, all true stories, of the guy buried in the sand and all that. No, that I told. Yeah. All these are stories of people in Samadhi, but not knowing the truth. I have gone through that experience. I have met people with that experience. There used to be a student, this I don't think many of you know, who will come to my class. She was an elderly lady. Years ago, this was 30 years back, when I first started classes in the late 80s, early 90s, having this class in Bombay, Laburnum Road, Gamdevi. This lady, she must have been in her 60s that time, walked in. Swamiji, don't mind if I sit quietly and I look asleep, but I am not asleep. I said, then what are you? I go into Samadhi. I said, Maji, if you're going to Samadhi, why are you coming for my class? Beta, jnaan nahi hai. I don't have knowledge. Now when she used to come to the class, I had to be more dynamic in my teaching so that she will not go into Samadhi and understand some things. More jokes, more story. And after a couple of years she told, Beta, abhi kuch samajh mein aa raha hai. And now I am understanding what I have missed out. Yeah. Well-off lady staying in one of the flats in Bridge Candy. But she was a great seeker. But wrong track. You can work for the Samadhi experience if you want to. But understand that is not knowledge. Vedantic knowledge or any knowledge will take place only when a means of knowledge is used. A pramana has to be used. Pramana is used in the waking. You, the pramata, has to be there. The one who's dealing with the pramana has to be there. That has to go in. Go in, here and here. Then you're fine. Therefore, Vijnana Viratihi Shuktihi. Yeah?
So when you explained about the sleep being same as Samadhi, so, but then what is the difference that one does not know the truth?
If it's Andha Samadhi, there is no difference. Consciously you are sleeping. This conscious sleep, you know how I learned? This is all from my commando martial art background. You know? As part of our training. Come. I'm going to give you a special bed today. We think, our bed is so hard and lumpy. Special bed, maybe it's nice. That is your bed. What is that? Branch of a tree. Now you're dog tired. The whole day you've been training. You have eaten well in the evening. How do you think you will sleep on that? You have to be very conscious. So, it's like how a dog sleeps. One ear is cocked. You are asleep. You are rested in the morning. But you're conscious, otherwise you'll roll off. So, whom I learned Tai Chi from, this man was studying from a Tibetan Lama. So the Tibetan Lama has a habit of testing the student. So the class gets over at 9 o'clock in the evening. Then he would tell, Christy boy, tomorrow morning special class for you, 6 o'clock. Now the Lama is in Kalyan. This guy stays in Andheri. Kalyan to Andheri, there's no time to go and come back. Because the way the trains are, it's a long route. So, but this guy was very dedicated. So he'll go to the railway station, under the tap, wash his hands, legs, face and all. Eat some vada pav there. Vada pav is a Bombay burger, okay? Those days, $1. Eat that. Go to sleep on the platform, on the bench. Next morning, 6 o'clock, he's there ready for training. And the Lama is wondering how this guy managing it. So after 2 days, he did the same thing. Again, he's there. So the third time, the Lama followed him. He found he's sleeping there. Christy boy, no place for you. Come home. He said, finally, the Jallad, this character is torturing me every day, has got some compassion. So he went happily. So he took him to the backyard. He had a small cottage backyard. There are 2 ropes strung on 2 trees, no? About 1 feet apart. Christy boy, your bed, sleep. How do you sleep there? He took out his t-shirt, put it on the ropes, took out his belt, tightened it. Okay, now I can balance myself. One hand like this, one hand like this, one leg like this, one leg like this. So you're in conscious sleep? There will be a place in the ashram for all this if you want.